Welcome to LFN News, a production of LFN Media, bringing you the latest in celebrity news, with specific analysis to keep you in the know of what is going on around you. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. We also encourage you to share your comments in the comments section below and let us know what you think about the issue under discussion and any other issue you may want us to discuss in the future. R. Kelly has always been a successful singer, songwriter and producer, but not much of a businessman and certainly not the best money manager either. There is no denying R. Kelly's ingenious talent. The Ignition hitmaker could write a song and produce it himself, and he definitely could sing. Throughout his career, R. Kelly amassed 35 top 10 hit singles. Of those, 11 went to number 1 on the R&B and hip-hop charts. In the decade of the 90s, R. Kelly had more top 40 hits than any other male solo artist alive. It brought him wealth, at the time, that was jaw-dropping. It is no wonder he quickly earned himself the name R&B King. R. Kelly's effect on the top Billboard charts was evident. It brought him a fortune that not many had seen at the time, as at the height of his earning power, Kelly had surpassed the $150 million net worth mark. Not only was his net worth climbing, but his reputation as a songwriter was also gaining much traction. Although R. Kelly had accumulated his wealth to a net worth over $150 million, he eventually was calculatedly defrauded by his own people closest to him, coupled with a bunch of legal troubles, and he quickly lost all his fortune. Perhaps, just like the saying goes, it's actually easier to make the money than to keep it. Currently, R. Kelly owes $1.9 million to the Internal Revenue Service and allegedly has a negative net worth equivalent to $2 million. R. Kelly also owes feds over $140,000 fine as part of his New York case sentence. Along with issuing Kelly's 30-year prison term, U.S. District Judge ordered that the singer pays a $100,000 fine, a $40,000 assessment under the Justice for Trafficking Victims Act, and a $900 special assessment fee. Now, prosecutors have asked a federal court to seize more than $28,000, probably the only funds to his name, that R. Kelly has in his prison inmate account, noting that the R&B singer hasn't paid $140,000 in court-ordered fines. How unfair! Of course he hasn't, as he hasn't been working and he is evidently broke. It probably was fitting that R. Kelly even went ahead to lament his financial troubles in a song. "I'm a broke legend," Kelly riffed in the expletive-riddled song, "I Admit," released in 2018. "The only reason I stay on tour is because I've got to pay my rent. I admit I had to borrow a couple of M's from the label. All these hits out, but I couldn't put food on the table," he lamented. Steve Greenberg said at a hearing after Kelly's February arrest that his client's recording contract had been cancelled and his finances were a mess. However, R. Kelly's financial troubles date way back in time. In March 2013, R. Kelly lost his Chicago mansion to foreclosure after J.P. Morgan Chase paid $950,000 for the 22,000 square foot Illinois mansion at an auction on March 18. The I Believe I Can Fly hitmaker was hit with a $2.9 million foreclosure suit in July 2011, because he had stopped making payments on the home. But after trying to force a loan modification, when the home's appraised value dropped from $5.2 million to $3.8 million in the span of a year, Kelly threw in the towel. Walking away may just have been the smartest choice for Kelly, who had already faced financial difficulties for years. Now, the government is shamelessly eyeing the only monies R. Kelly has to his name at such a critical time in his life with baseless arguments. In a detailed letter to the judge, the government said it was informed by the Bureau of Prisons that the defendant had accumulated substantial funds in his inmate trust account, which can be used to buy food and items at the prison commissary. In the 5-page letter, Saavedra wrote, "The government now seeks entry of an order authorizing the Federal Bureau of Prisons to turn over the restrained funds for application to the defendant's outstanding criminal penalties." In a footnote, Saavedra clarified why he and other prosecutors think the money in Kelly's account needs to be seized. He justified the request explaining that, in the case of criminal debts such as fines and restitution, the federal law does not exempt inmate trust funds from attachment. As of August 3, the amount had accumulated to just over $28,000. The Bureau of Prisons has already restrained the funds at the government's request, leaving just $500 in his account. Federal prosecutors in Brooklyn are asking the judge to put the money into an interest-bearing account, pending a determination as to the amount and applicability of a restitution judgment. A restitution hearing is scheduled for next month, at which time, New York federal judge Ann Donnelly will decide how much Kelly will have to pay to the victims. Attorney Jennifer Bonjean, who represents the R&B King, argued that Kelly is pretty close to indigent as he didn't have a regular source of income, and some stations currently refuse to play his music. Prosecutors, however, baselessly alleged that Kelly had funneled millions of dollars from music royalties through a childhood friend right before his conviction. Kelly was just recently transferred to his hometown at Chicago's Metropolitan Correctional Center, where he awaits trial for his other case scheduled for August 15. The Chicago trial comes 14 years after he was previously acquitted on all charges in Illinois in 2008. Last month, Kelly, through his attorney, notified the federal court that they intend to appeal his New York conviction on racketeering charges. A few weeks ago, Kelly's sisters came to his defense in an interview with Good Morning Britain, where they claimed that their brother was no monster, confirming his innocence in all the allegations against him. They stressed their confidence in the appeal and confirmed they were expecting R. Kelly to be free anytime soon through the same appeal. Please let us know in the comment section below whether you feel it's right for the government to prey on R. Kelly's inmate trust funds, probably the only fund to his name currently. We value your honest opinion. That's all we had for you today. Thank you for watching LFN News, a production of LFN Media, giving you another view of issues at hand. To get notified whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now and hit the notification icon. And remember to give us your comment on the subject matter below.